Um, yeah, guys, welcome back. For you, it must be probably not much different, but for those who have been following our series for some time, we have had a long break, probably 2 weeks, which is a little bit abnormal. I had some stuff going on, but thanks God that I've solved them. Coming back to our Q card example question, today we're going to describe a time you learned something new. You should say what you learned, how you learned it, why you decided to learn it, and explain how you felt about learning it. So, first thing first, as usual, we have 1 minute to prepare our notes and also between 1 to 2 minutes to talk about the topic. So, I'm going to prepare the notes together with you guys. So, I'm going to talk about how I learned Chinese. So, I'm going to say here Chinese, how you learned it by myself, and why you decided to learn it because I thought it was cool. The harder the better. Cool and hard. Maybe cool sometimes it means hard. Hard means cool. I don't know, or easy, whatever you guys define it. And explaining how you felt about learning. Wow, it was tiring, but also awesome, right? I could say that tiring and awesome. So that's your 1 minute preparing the notes. Now I'm going to talk about this topic. So I remember it was about 10 years ago when I decided to start learning Chinese. But unfortunately, because I was in Istanbul, Turkey, I didn't have a chance to meet a lot of Chinese people. But I had one friend of mine. She was a Chinese teacher. And I remember she gave me 8 hour lesson. We started at around 9 a.m. in the morning. We had a couple of breaks in between, but we had the total of 8 hours, because I bought 8 hours from her, but she didn't want me to pay her, obviously. She's a friend, she insisted on that, etc. So she gave me 8 hours of straight Chinese lessons, like the beginner's level. Well, I'm a quick study and I love good challenges, so I accepted it. And we covered almost every basics there are in Chinese. And for the beginners, obviously, probably it would have taken me weeks to cover all this stuff, but I accepted the challenge and we did it in 8 hours. And after that, I started learning by myself. I downloaded applications from different parts and tried to study how the characters are. The characters are a little bit different from the normal Latin alphabet. They are lookings and they don't have alphabet concept, so you have to kind of like learn the strokes and the strategies that you're using to write something, etc. So it's learning a little things by using a lot of things. But thanks God, the Chinese grammar isn't very difficult. So that was a plus, and the mentality was also very simple and beautiful. So I loved it, and I decided to learn Chinese because I thought because it's difficult, then it's gonna be cool to be able to speak this language. Probably it's not very cool for Chinese person to speak Chinese, but for a person who has learned this language as a second language, I think it's really, really cool. And a lot of people appreciated my efforts and they said, like, wow, you have been able to uh, learn something really, really cool, important, and whatever they say a lot of things. Everyone says something about it. So I felt really great. It was awesome, but also it was one of the most tiring periods of my life because I was so obsessed and I was working hours and hours every day to make sure that I mastered the language. And eventually I mastered this. So that's it, guys. That's the end of our answer. As I always say, in the examination, you shouldn't worry too much about the time. They say 2 minutes or between 1 and 2 minutes. You shouldn't be the one who is calculating the time. You have the examiner there. He or she is going to do this for you. So you have to focus on being natural, being confident, and speak the things that you're familiar with. It's always a good policy because it helps you to not focus on creating, but just remembering what had happened. And obviously, if you don't have that, probably you need to figure out a way to talk about somebody else's experience as if it were yours. But usually they have very common questions and they know these questions, or people have experienced something like this. That's why they want to lead with those kind of questions. So without further ado, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And if you have any questions, just write. Don't forget to leave your comment. And I'm wishing you all the best. And thank you for trying to do something for yourselves. It's increasingly less and less common to see people trying to spend some time improving themselves. So for you, it's you doing something great. Take care of you. See you next time.